Digimon's comeback this year in particular, while of course Digimon's always been here, has been generational. We are getting fed Digimon content in a way that we haven't for years. With the success of Digimon Story Time Stranger, Digimon Beat Break, a regular airing anime, and much more on the horizon, I wanted to check in because we've actually had a ton of Digimon news recently, and we're about to get even more.
Happy holidays!
What is up, holiday companions? My name is Karn EX and welcome back to another video. And oh my gosh, we are so close to that 100k, guys. If you haven't subscribed already, I would appreciate it. And I want to give a shout out to today's sponsor, Berserk Bits. Berserk Bits have been a wonderful sponsor of this channel this year. If you're not familiar, Berserk Bits is a net hacking auto battler, hugely inspired by the Digivice toys and the Mega Man PET. And I know a lot of you have actually checked out Berserk Bits and really enjoyed it, but now their bubble event, their first ever event, is live right now.
Our game Berserk Bits has been out for not even a month, and we're already having our first event, the Bubble Event. With an all-new biome, with new enemies, and a big bubble boss to take all on your desktop, as well as 6 new battle chips and a bunch of bubble-themed decorations. And to celebrate the new event, we're also hosting a competition where we'll select a few players to collaborate with to create custom battle chips that will go in the game forever. All you have to do is send in some screenshots of you beating the bubble boss and the victory email you get in-game to our Discord for a chance to win.
Berserk Bits hasn't even been out for a month, but they're hosting their first ever event, the Bubble Event, as a thank you for such an amazing launch. The dev is listening and has already added a plethora of community ideas, changes and fixes, and quality of life updates. This event contains a brand new limited time biome, new enemies, bosses, and 6 new battle chips to collect, with a bunch of new bubble-themed decorations until the end of February. And they're also hosting a competition with 3 winners. Just join their Discord after defeating the final bubble boss and send your victory email into the channel. You come up with the idea and design and they'll make it happen for you. And they'll even do the art. These chips will be permanently added to the game. Berserk Bits already has planned 3 upcoming events, so if you haven't already, make sure you grab the game for less than $7 now on Steam. And don't forget to join their Discord, which is on screen right now. And thank you to Berserk Bits and their new bubble event update for sponsoring this video. So yeah, there's been a lot of Digimon news recently. First of all, and I posted about this in my community post, but it is incredible to see Digimon Story Time Stranger has sold over 1 million copies. Now, I've seen some people asking if that's good, and first of all, yes, it's very good, especially for the game budget and size that it had. You got to consider that in the first year or so, a big Atlas game like Metaphor Fantasio sold around 2 million copies. Digimon Story Time Stranger sold 1 million copies in 2 months. Not beating Metaphor at all, not that it has to and not that that matters, but it is the fastest selling Digimon game of all time, beating literally every other Digimon Story and World game for sales of that number. This is a very successful Digimon game, and those DLC waves are coming out. It wouldn't surprise me if we get a season 2, but bare minimum, the future of Digimon games has been sealed here, I think. We're definitely going to get more Digimon games, and probably in particular more Digimon Story games as a big focus. As for that DLC, well, initially Steam said that we would not be looking at the first wave until January to March. However, obviously they jumped that gun a little bit, releasing it in early December. The next DLC is not supposed to land until January or March again. It's very unlikely they're dropping Wave 2 this month, this close to Christmas and New Year. However, there's a solid chance we do see it in January. However, whether on purpose or not, each Digimon Time Stranger release has been coincidentally close to Pokemon. Obviously, the game itself came out the same month as Legends EA, then their Alternate Dimension DLC came out the same month and week, in fact, as the Pokemon Mega Dimension DLC. And with Pokemon Day on February 27th and PlayStation usually having a state of play in January or February of the start of the year, it wouldn't surprise me if we did see Wave 2 of the DLC go out around February, close to Pokemon Day, again, coincidentally or not. And then we do usually have a Digimon Con around March, April of each year too, so it wouldn't surprise me if the 3rd DLC either launches before or is announced at Digimon Con. As for a Season Pass 2, I'm hoping it happens so that we can have more content for this game more regularly, but honestly, I think they should just put effort into making lots more Digimon games, and I'd love to see another one get announced this year. Speaking of things getting announced, this week Digimon Times got announced again. If you missed my stream reacting to it, it's actually one of my most popular streams of all time. Digimon Times is basically a Digimon Direct, where they announce new products, new toys, and other things. The very first one was 5 months ago this year. They've had other formats before, but Digimon Times is basically brand new, so we really don't know what we're going to see here. However, last time the major takeaway was the new Shambhala V-Pets that are actually now releasing this month. However, we do have some indication that something pretty pretty big is coming, specifically in relation to Digimon Beat Break. This most recent episode, I won't spoil it super hardcore, but it went into dark and negative emotion of Gekomon and actually involved a pre-evolution for Gekomon, not an evolution. Coincidentally, this Digimon Times, which I will be streaming, I will be live about 10-20 minutes before it starts. We're going to start streaming, talk about what we might see there, and then react to the whole thing, plus some other news, is going to be airing exactly when Digimon Beat Break finishes in Japan this week, which to me lends some credence to the idea that perhaps something big is going to happen in Digimon Beat Break. In fact, I'm pretty sure I've seen a producer or someone that works on Digimon Beat Break teasing that you're going to want to watch this week's episode and Digimon Times, so perhaps we are going to see a Gekomon evolution, and now that we have all the champions in the series, new merch or something. I'm pretty sure we're not getting like a straight up Digivice toy for this season, but maybe we're going to get some more merch or like a V-Pet or something like that. But Digimon Times will also have things like the card game and other toys, so really, because we've only had one before, we don't know what we're looking at here. Hell, they could announce the next DLC here, or something like Digimon Elysian, which I do not believe is far from coming out. I can't tell you when, I doubt it's this month now, but January, February of next year do actually feel incredibly likely. However, it could slide depending on feedback from the open beta into more like a summer next year, but I don't think it's super far away. It's still regularly touring Digimon Card Game Fest events and things like that. They are wanting people to try this out. In fact, it was even at the London pop-up that I went to the other week. I actually didn't get time to try it out, but it was there for people to play. This all leads me to believe that something big is coming for Digimon Beat Break. They're also going to be at Jump Festa 26 with Toei this weekend, which is a weird lineup. I don't know if Digimon historically has been at Jump Festa. I don't remember seeing it every year, certainly, but this kind of like Christmas lineup that Toei's got, alongside One Piece and Dragon Ball and some other anime and stuff, is Digimon Beat Break. Again, indicating that they think some hype for Beat Break is about to swing up around this weekend. Speaking of the Shambhala V-Pets, they are supposed to release this week, Pendulum Color 6 and 7, or roughly sometime this week, I believe. They might even be in people's hands in Japan now already, and we are expecting at least one new Digimon to drop from that, so my Every Digimon from 2025 Explained video is going to be quite the challenge. But interestingly, we do know that EX12 of the card game coming out next year, which is also going to feature the new dual card mechanic, is going to feature Digimon seen in the Pendulum colors, including these new Shambhala V-Pets. There is something to me that indicates we're entering the age of Shambhala for Digimon. If you consider the most recent thing with Time Stranger and stuff, the kind of Yggdrasil Homeros era, I think they're putting a ton of their resources into Shambhala because of how popular Digimon is in China and Japan, and those elements still appealing to Western fans. We know next year the card game is primarily focusing on V-Pets, Digimon Beat Break, and Digimon Data Squad. A lot of elements of Digimon Beat Break are already lining up to Shambhala, things like potential connections to Tsukiyomi, but also the 5 stars that we're now seeing in the plotline, and of course the Toho Braves and Seiyu Warriors V-Pets are straight up connected to Shambhala. In addition to that, so is Digimon Liberator, and it seems like so is Digimon Elysian, with Renamon Evolutions seemingly being on the V-Pets too. I think we're about to see a lot more of this new digital world, and it's time to strap in. Speaking of the card game and Liberator, I'm hoping we see the level 7 for Terramon/Sephargamon soon. We recently got the level 7 for Elizamon, Styrakomon, which I don't personally love the look at, but I do get a ton of the inspiration for. I'll be diving way more into that inspiration and why it does work, even if it visually looks a little bit of a weird departure, in my 2025 Digimon Explained video. But I'm really curious to see how Terramon pivots at level 7 when we look at things like the difference between Sendrymon and Nyabutmon, Ryugumon and Ariamon, etc. Could be really interesting. Also, Machinamon got a card, and while we have seen the link function be used in like the option cards and stuff for the TCG that are coming out, not connected to Appmon, like there's some Time Stranger options that have link function, this is the first straight up Digimon card that's not an Appmon to use link. I doubt in future there will be no other regular Digimon that use the link function, but I do think it's a great tip of the hat to the idea that Machinamon has a app link on its design. It's kind of almost half Digimon, half Appmon, and that's paying off in its card in the TCG using an Appmon function that has been mostly Appmon exclusive up to this point. I do though think it's quite likely going forward that other Digimon will get to use the link function now that Machinamon has kind of opened the gate, similar to how non-armor Digimon have started using the armor purge ability in the card game too. Also, it's looking like Digimon Liberator is at least teasing the idea of finally having Galactimon become Gaiamon. Now, it's kind of a massive Digimon. I don't know whether they're actually going to go through with it, but if they do, that's crazy. If you're not familiar, Gaiamon was a potential Digimon, a world-ending threat from Digimon World 3, created by Galactimon. Never quite came to fruition in that game, thankfully, because we prevented the end of the world, but maybe it will happen in Liberator. There's been a ton of Digimon added to the Digimon Encyclopedia, not just brand new Digimon, but also existing Digimon that we have not seen get listings up to this point. point. We started to get the rollout of Time Stranger Digimon, so Master Blimpmon has been added, Titamon and Skullbalukimon, Craniumon and Embarmon, and regular Embarmon, of course, as well as Great Grizzlymon. Then we're seeing like Beat Break and Liberator Digimon, etc. get added, Kugamon, Metatromon, Styrakomon, and from Digimon New Century, Tautimon, which is another one of the 4 perils, and a really exciting Digimon. Can't wait to dive into that one. How the 4 perils might factor into things like Digimon Beat Break going forward is a very interesting proposition. I really do wish Digimon New Century existed outside of China, so it was more accessible for more Digimon fans, because it's filled with so many cool Digimon that we're only really seeing in like the card game and the V-Pets. And then yes, also we got Parallelmon finally added to the Digimon Encyclopedia due to its appearance in the DLC. I'm very confused why Hyokomon, etc. have not been added to the Digimon reference book yet. Like, I get there might be some in the evolution line that are more spoilerific than others, but Hyokomon, Baraimon, Butenmon, those could very easily be added to the reference book now and bring their count up, because, you know, you can get them at any point in Time Stranger pretty much. Those aren't story related. You can get Hyokomon in the first hour or two. Anyway, yes, I am really looking forward to Digimon Times this weekend. As I say, I will be streaming it. Haven't decided whether I'm putting out a video on Sunday yet, because obviously Digimon Times will be in my time zone streaming on Sunday, so the VOD might act as the video for Sunday, but either way, there are 3 custom art videos coming up this December, and then we'll be ending the year on my big 2025 Digimon Explained. I'm going to do an even bigger thanks to everyone at the end of the year. I do want to give a big shout out this week to my pals, the Digino Corey and Gym Leader Ed, who have been shouting me out. I do appreciate it, boys. It's really nice to make friends with content creators. I wish I could make friends with more content creators, and the content creators I kind of touch base with when we're not really like friends, but I do really like those guys. It's meant the world to me that they've kind of been pushing my channel as we try to get to 100,000 subscribers. By the time this video goes out, we're going to be very close to, if not at 99,000 subscribers. I think it's going to be January. I'm pretty sure it's going to be January, but man, if we could end the year at 100,000 subscribers. But you know what? January's good enough. Get that tick. We'll get the, oh, my light fell down. We'll get the play button in the background next year. Anyway, thank you all so much for watching. Thank you to my sovereigns, ZDK14, Chaotic Prophet, Jeremy Babineau, and Lupus Lichord for supporting me over on patreon.com/Karn EX at the sovereign tier, and all my YouTube channel members here on YouTube for supporting me. I do appreciate it, and I'll see you next time when we go to Duel. Bye-bye.